I'm Saurabh. So today we are going to deep dive into the world of software engineering, especially on the DevOps. So we'll talk about the different challenges and how you can conquer the tough interviews in simple terms. So some people think that being a DevOps engineer is amazing. You get to automate things, make things better, keep the software running smoothly, but there's more to it. So think of it as a person who connects building and maintaining the software. So imagine you are the person who connects making the software and to keep it working. So the DevOps engineers, they also watch over all the computer stuff, but it can be a lot to handle. So being a DevOps engineer means that you need to be a big problem solver. You need to look into the glitches of the system, fix the system. It's like solving puzzles all day, every day. One of the tough parts is that you might feel exhausted. So being a DevOps engineer means that you need to be ready when something goes wrong. Another challenge for being a DevOps engineer is that you need to keep learning all the time. So DevOps change fast. You need to keep it up. You need to know about the different tools. You need to know about Docker, Kubernetes, AWS, Terraform. It's like studying ever and ever, and it just never finishes up. So it's a vast, exploring, ever-changing land of technology. It also keeps on increasing and increasing, but it's also very exciting. So if you are very keen on learning new technologies, so this is one of the spaces that you'll find very, very interesting. Don't let ever-ending technology space scare you. So learning can be a very thrilling adventure. The more you know, the more powerful you become in your role. The next one is talking about the interviews in DevOps. So the interviews in DevOps can be really tricky. Going to an interview can be very, very daunting. It can be very challenging. The interviewers do ask tough questions about your job. It's like giving a test altogether. It's normal to feel nervous, but remember that everybody has to face these challenges. So you are not the only person giving the interview. Everybody goes through the same phase. But you also need to understand how you can fix things, and practice makes it perfect. So you need to keep on practicing on your different skill sets, all the different technologies. You can get ready for interviews. Don't worry about that. You need to learn lots of things like making software better, fixing problems, learning new technologies, but it is all achievable. So two things that can help. One is reading books, and the second one is practicing. Just like practicing a sport to get better. Similarly, practicing any other habit so that you can get better in it. So you just keep on practicing. So there are some sort of specific questions you might get asked in interviews. So similarly, other questions on which are focusing on Docker, which are focusing on Kubernetes, on AWS, the different types of projects that you have done. So all these are very, very key questions that will come up in the interview. But if you understand all these questions, you will do very well in the interviews. So just remember that whenever you are giving an interview, every question is a chance to show your skill sets and prove that you are the right candidate for the job. So it's very, very important to be on the grasp of whatever technologies that you're speaking about. Another thing about interview is that they are not just focused on work. They also ask you about what are the different types of stresses that you have handled. Are you a good team player? They'll ask you to talk about what is the different sort of roles that you have played together. So showing that you can work with others is very, very important, because in a team, you're not the only one working. You need to collaborate with a lot many people. One of the things that you can do to improve your interview skills is practicing. So practice your interview skills with your friends, or somebody who is working along with you, somebody who's in the same journey with you. You can keep questioning each other, and also practice on the skills. So the more you practice, the more confident you become. But don't be sad if you do not get a job straight away. Many people do not get the job on their first try. Just keep learning from your mistakes. It's okay to make the mistakes, but as long as you are putting in the efforts, the results will be paying. So think of this as leveling up in a video game. So you don't get to reach the boss level just straight away. You need to try and try, but each attempt makes you stronger. So don't get disheartened if you are losing up in the interviews. There are so many programs available, even myself. So we have been running up the mentorship program. So if you have been just a fresher, or you have been working in any other arena than DevOps and cloud, the mentorship program can help. So if you want to learn more about DevOps, AWS, Docker, Kubernetes, about doing hands-on projects on different streams, for example, like if you want to do hands-on projects on Kubernetes, Docker, AWS, the enterprise grade projects which really work on in all the different organizations. So these are some types of facilities that we do provide in the mentorship program. So you can work on the real projects to learn. So also there are live interview preparation sessions. So we help in getting mock interviews. We do conduct mock interviews, and we also help in finalizing a lot of different ways in which you need to answer some of the questions. So imagine it is teaming up with a coach to level up your skills. There is just follow our YouTube channel and keep on practicing. So DevOps can be hard, but with practice you can do it. So there are lots of different candidates who are still out searching in the market. The tricky thing is that many of these candidates are not really willing to learn. So they're just looking up for a job. But if you can make a niche out of it, if you can show that you can learn, if you learn all these skill sets, you may not believe it, but there are so many employers who are struggling to find the right candidates. So if you are just willing to just get a notch above it, you will get a job, and that's a promise.